Nicola went missing on Friday the 27th of January. She was last seen at 9:10 in the upper field of the Riverside area, and she was with her dog. Her phone and her dog were found at around 9:33 that morning, and Nicola has not been seen since. Now, I can understand that for local people this is extremely distressing and worrying for them, that it may cause anxiety. However, what I would say is that there is an enormous police investigation into this missing person inquiry. Around 40 detectives are working under a senior investigating officer, looking at every possible line of inquiry, including CCTV, house to house, tracing witnesses, looking at around 700 vehicles that have passed through the village that day, tracing all of those witnesses and trying to get dashcam footage. In addition to that, around half a dozen police divers continue to search the river, but we're also aided in that search by a number of partners, like Fire and Rescue and the Lancaster Area Search and Rescue team, to whom I'm very grateful. So to the local community, I would say, please, if you have dashcam footage relating to that journey on Friday the 27th, get in touch. We have a new email inbox, Nicola Bulley investigation at lancashire.police.uk, and all information will be taken seriously and looked into.
I was just going to ask you when you remain as confident as ever that there is no third-party involvement in this case at all.
I do, Tony, because our investigation has looked at so many potential lines of inquiry, particularly the CCTV bordering that stretch of river. Now, Allotment Lane and Rowan Water Caravan Park have been discounted as areas that Nicola could have used to leave the path. That only leaves a Scarstand Lane. Now, of course, we remain fully open to anything that may have happened to her, and any information is being checked out, but at this time our belief is that this is a missing person inquiry.
So the third party involvement that's suggested by the boss of SGI, mentioned about the phone possibly being left on the bench as a decoy, that's something that isn't really relevant to the inquiry, or is that a factor in any way?
Nicola's phone was found on the bench, but there could be so many explanations for that. Nicola may have left it momentarily, particularly as she was on a Teams call from 9:01 that morning until the Teams call ended, albeit she remained dialed in at 9:30. She could have left the phone on the bench to go and deal with something involving the dog. It does not mean anything suspicious in itself. And the fact that other witnesses have not seen anyone suspicious in the area, and that we haven't picked up anyone suspicious either on our systems or on CCTV, does lead us to believe it remains a missing person inquiry.
You mentioned there are 40 detectives working on the case specifically. What about the number in general, with uniform officers and expert searchers and everything like that? Is there a number on total? It's
around 60. It's around 60 because there are many neighbourhood policing officers, including the police officers themselves and the PCSOs who remain in the area. There are a number of supervisors who come down to the scene. There are obviously the police divers and the searchers of the physical search area of the riverbank, so about 60 in total. But if we need more, we will call upon them. At the moment, the senior investigating officer is happy with those number of inquiries, but we'll keep it under constant review.
Do you mind me just asking two more questions? The area around the bench wasn't kind of isolated and protected at first. I mean, is that something that is regretted at all, or was that the right thing to do at the time?
Well, this is a beautiful rural area, isn't it? And to be able to fence off every hazard would be practically impossible for an area that people come to on their holidays. They walk their dogs, they enjoy leisure time, local people. So I think that would be a very difficult task, not one for the police, certainly for the local authority, but I think one that would be difficult to do and may detract from the beauty of the area.
So no evidence would have been lost by it not being isolated or sealed off?
Oh, you're talking a police cordon. Sorry, I thought you meant a physical cordon. Right, sorry. Well, the police officers were alerted after that first call about 10:50 when the school and her family were told that her phone and her dog had been found. Police officers were very quickly on the scene afterwards. In that short window, I'm not concerned, having been led by the inquiry team to this view, that anything would have been lost in that short time.
And do you know how long SGI are going to be on site and how near they are?
That is a matter for them.
That's for them,
Indeed. Thanks.